Okay. Alright, the last one, let's look at. Okay, we've got another one here. It's kind of similar. What do you think here? Who's writing to who, do you think? Who's the writer? Who's the writer? Yes. And what are they, why are they writing you? Yeah. There's something about your tax, how to fill in your tax form, right? Yeah, maybe you're doing an inquiry, I can't speak. You're making an inquiry, they need your tax number, right? So it's not. So is it balanced? Are they thinking about the relationship? Yeah. So they're not calling you by the name. Okay, maybe it's the government. Maybe that's not a big deal. But I think a lot of the language is also what's wrong with the language. Pursuant to changes, kind of complicated language, right? It's very formal. The thing is you can use this word, it's fine, but when we're writing email, it's not like when we're writing a report or a presentation where we want to have some nice, impressive words in it, right? To kind of show off our language. Yeah, there's a time and a place. Like when you're giving a presentation, you should try to use impressive language. But in an email, we don't need fancy language. Why not? What's the problem with fancy language? Keep it simple. Why? Yeah, people want to spend a lot of time. They're not there to admire your writing skills. They're there to see what they need to do and move on, right? So we don't need to impress anybody by using this fancy, bombastic, as they say, words, right? Just like, please send this, whatever. Be polite, but you don't need to be fancy, right? So we want to cut out this kind of thing. So it could be a little more reader-friendly, use simpler language, be a little bit more direct. Some of it's pretty good. That's nice. So if they did a bit more of this is very clear. Just keep it more concise. What do you think about the layout, the organization? Pretty good, yeah. Right? Short, quick paragraphs. A lot of space. Not like the first one where it's all together and there's like so many lines together, so it's easy on the eyes, that kind of thing, yeah. So this one's not too bad, only that it's not very balanced and maybe it just needs to be a little bit, change the language, make it a little less formal or less fancy, right? Yeah, okay, so you guys are now experts on how to write a better email. What I want you to do is, you've all got your computers there, I want you to look at, you can do two ways. You can either randomly open up an email, look at the email, do they meet the criteria? Better. Or open up an email you sent yesterday or the day before, or a recent email. Did you meet all the criteria? Would you make any changes? All right, so have a quick look in your inbox. Share with the person next to you. What do you see using the criteria? Look at your boss's email. See if they wrote better. We'll keep it a secret. So have a look at your email, share with the person next to you, do they agree with your judgment? Does it make sense?
Yeah, we see your emails.
See if you fit the criteria or Relax about this, yeah? Just send it to me, don't worry about it. Don't try to fix it now, it's fine. Maybe a bit more specific about what she needs to do. So maybe look at one of your emails and then look at a colleague or a client's email.
Yes. Every yes. Reader friendly, yes. Yes.
Okay, Lucy. Why am I writing Yep, that looks good. I would just say it's a little bit formal, but other than that, yep, looks good to go. Oh, that looks very long. Yeah, if the client understands, if they know what it is, then it's fine. Yeah, yeah, that one's quite long too. Let me see, what is the first few lines? Did he ask about a specific item? Yeah. So maybe you need to highlight what's different or what they're missing. Maybe that would be helpful, because if she doesn't know this, she really has to understand what all this means comparing to that. But if you're like the subject expert, then I would just say, notice you're missing consequential loss, and it sounds like you need that in other companies, something like that. Oh, each one is a comment? I would put that at the top, maybe. So then I would say, I've looked at this, basically, right? You can see I have highlighted, and then put a little line at the top. I've highlighted the areas that that need your attention. And then maybe put it in a different color so that she can see. Just because as this is, she has to do a lot of reading, she has to understand a lot, and she has to kind of compare it. So that could help her out a bit. Just highlighting the areas, like the different colors, and explaining it at the top. Yeah, so, or even to say basically the following, this is your current below I've highlighted or I've compared your current what you need is something like that. Something like that. All right, let's see, how do we do? The last thing before we go, I want you to take a look at, can you take a look at this email here? Dear T. All right. I want you to rewrite this email so that it fits the criteria. Okay? Now you are free to cut out any unnecessary information. All right? Just have one group email for your table. So one person typing, the other people are helping them. All right? So not everybody has to write alone. Just have a look at it and see which ones that you think you want to, which words you want to simplify. Okay? So have a look. How would you simplify this email? You can do it as a group and I'll come check. So just pull up a Word document on your laptop. Or would you prefer to write it on flip chart paper? Either one is fine with me. Do you want to type? All right, type. I'll make this a bit bigger so you can see.
It has been a great year.
So think about, first of all, the first one or two sentences. What do we need up here? It's been a great year. Now we said we had to read right down to the bottom to see it was an invitation. So how are you going to change it at the top? Yeah, put about we'd like to invite you to a party right at the beginning, right? And then go on from there. So you can play around with the words a little bit. So how would you put? So maybe here. So it's been a great year, and you've all pulled through, blah blah blah. To celebrate our success, we'd like to invite you. And then go from there. Yeah? Make it simple. Yeah?
Celebrate the great year.
To celebrate our success, to celebrate your achievement, your success. Write it like that.
It's a short one.
Throw out, you know, throughout the year.
Precisely. And then all the stuff to appreciate your appreciation. To like to the company is organizing.
So remember, you could add in the information like the location, you know, which hotel or whatever, which Jalan, Rambutan, whatever.
Celebrate.
Oh, he's doing it there. Sorry, I saw him. No, I saw this. I need to have quick binoculars, I think. Oh, thank you.
If you are able, let Josie know.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, that sounds good. And then the date.
Let Josie know if you.
How you guys doing?
If you are attending.
Yeah, so now maybe think about it, maybe like bullet points or something, or like time, venue, date, that kind of thing. So, keep it simple, that's all we want, right? Simple to the point. Oh, fancy dress is it means, so I was very confused when it's a British thing. Fancy dress means costume, like dress up as Superman or dress up as a princess. I thought fancy means like your best clothing and look really, like buy a ball gown or something. For British people, British English, fancy dress means costume. Like, yeah. For this, they want, they could be like, so fancy dress for them means costume. It happened to me because I was invited to a barbecue and it said fancy dress. Well, barbecue, that makes no sense. Luckily, I found out before the date, or it would be very embarrassing. Yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah, exactly. At a barbecue.
Very exaggerated.
Yeah. So when you're done, sign your group's names and email it to me, and I'll have a look in the next session and see the next session. Then we have one more activity before we go.
Come on now.
That is salary case.
Can I trouble you, Omar, because I'm an old lady? Just make it a bit bigger so I can see it. My eyes are bad. Alright, there you go. Thank yeah, maybe the theme, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me just tell you, because I think you guys, some people are confused, like I was confused. This one, fancy dress. Okay. For British English, I also thought it was. I thought fancy dress was shirt and tie and ball gown and beautiful, like at a wedding. It's not. British people say fancy dress. They mean costume, like dress up as Super Mario, or dress up as Spider-Man, or dress up as a princess, or a witch, or a wizard. It's a totally different meaning. I didn't know. So I was telling that group, I got invited to a barbecue once, and it was all my British colleagues, and they were like, fancy dress, and I was like, why do you want people to wear a suit and tie at a barbecue? It's hot. This is Malaysia. No, they meant costume. So that's what fancy dress means. So it's more like a theme than a attire. It's a theme, like fancy dress. Yeah. Yeah, right? So it would be embarrassing if, yeah. So when you're done, email it to me and I'll have a look at it before our next session.
No slipper, please. No slipper, please. No slipper and nothing. Okay, where is address email?
Alright. Okay?
I'm official, am I supposed to?
So, difficult odds. I know what you're trying to say, but if we pull through the difficult times, or you can say we have beaten the odds. That's the degree E. To not just deliver, but to surpass our targets. So that we
Yeah, I sent. Yes, by MRT.
Looks good. Alright, so that's the only thing you need to change about. Nice work. If you're done, let me know and I'll have a look. Then you don't even need to email it to me.
Yes. The other one just got. No need to email it.
Yeah, you don't need to. I can look. We have time. Okay, actually, I'll look at it in a minute. While I'm looking at it, I want you to do one more thing before you go. Okay? So, I want you to take a look at this document I gave you. Go to the last page where it says action planning. So it's this document here. Okay, last page, action planning. Okay. It's right at the back. The other one. The one that looks like this. Okay, go to the last page. And this is the, while I'm going around checking people's writing, you can do your reflection task for this module. So it's going to ask you to think about a goal you have. So we looked at the do's and don'ts. So if this is something, if you saw something new in the do's and don'ts we had earlier, right? Do's and don'ts. So maybe just commit an action for each. So maybe this is something you want to think about. I think everybody's kind of okay with this one, but you can have a look if there's something you want to make a change. Which features of better is an area of opportunity for you? In other words, which part of better is maybe something you didn't think about before, or something new to you? And did you learn anything new? And if you learned something new, how will you act on this information? How are you going to put it into practice? Okay, so this is just a reflection task for the end of
session. You can work on that while I'm checking your writing. And then we're done with this. Is that yours? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think we would like to invite you to a party to celebrate, just so we have that there, because, yeah, then I think they know, yeah. Okay, who am I checking? Am I checking this one, Sam? Okay. Are you guys still ready? I'll come back. Want me to have a look? Yeah, just well, that's a nice way of doing it, yeah. Which will be held, will, because it's the future. Would is more for the past. It will be held as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yep, looks good, great, nice. You guys done?
I tend to send like emails
So,
how many years already we've been here?
I think the only thing is, this is like a fun, but you made it like formal.
I think like twice.
Keep it simple and
I
say, please write, yeah, nice. Okay. Great year for the team to celebrate our achievement. Management will be hosting the year. Yes. Which will be held as follows. Nice, great, super, good. Looks good. Alright, so the last thing we want to do before you go is your action plan. Take a couple minutes to reflect on what we did today.
Be careful with him. The lady, okay. Over Erin. Yeah, that one.
So when you've written down your goals, take a minute to share with your partner.
Yes, please.
I saw that also.
Yes, please
Right,
acknowledge.
yeah. Consider, yeah, people's to-do lists, yeah.
36 hour rule. Yeah, it's not 48.